Well, for those of you who don't know, I have some real unfortunate news. I was going through my phone today, and I found out that one of my childhood favorites, Michelle Trachtenberg, has passed away at age 39. And to put things in perspective, she was only a year younger than I was. And it played on my mind at work today. I mean, obviously the memories were flowing through me, and now, I never watched her television show, Adventures of Pete and Pete. I remember seeing previews of it, but I never got around to, watching it. Even though I did watch a lot of Nickelodeon programming back in that day, so, because that was the channel to watch back in the day. But my first real memories of her was probably Harriet the Spy. Secretly, that was actually a favorite of mine when I was a child. I know a lot of me and my female friends really enjoyed that back in the day. And I admit, I did have a little boy crush on her, and I actually fell in love with her watching that film. I really did. But I must admit, sadly, as the years went on, I kind of forgot about that film, and kind of, because as you get older, you kind of forget about some things and you grow out of things. But then now, this is where it gets personal for me, because she was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer as Buffy's sister, and I thinking, where have I seen her before? Where have I seen her before? And then when I saw this name, Michelle Trachtenberg, I was like, oh my god, that's Harriet the Spy. And then and I gotta admit, and even though, and I literally, fell in love with her again as I was watching the show, and Buffy was one of my favorite shows. It was one of the more popular shows back in our day. Almost everybody I knew in my school watched it. It was, personal favorite of mine growing up. I mean, it was a big part of my youth growing up as well. And now, unfortunately, I must admit that the later half of 1999 and all of 2000 was one of the worst and darkest periods of my entire life. And I think the best thing I could say is that watching her and watching her on Buffy and watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer did help, carry me through, which was absolutely one of the worst periods of my entire life. So, and that's where some of the pain kind of sets in for me, because I do sort of think about that as well. It was good and bad memories that kind of came back all at the same time. So, so that was that was a lot to take in right then and there. Then after Buffy went off the air, I remember seeing a preview of Eurotrip, and I mean, my friends watched it at a party once, and we all really enjoyed it. And you really got to see just how beautiful Michelle really was, just to look at overall. And I mean, she really was a joy to watch. She was, she was, she was beautiful. She was funny. She was quirky, and she really did get to you emotionally as well, especially on Buffy. If you ever watched you know, you know, if you've ever watched Buffy, you'll know what I mean. And I know that looking back at her career, there's no doubt. I mean, she could have been so much more, and she should have been so much more. And I know that Hollywood, much like the world, is unfair, and I think a lot of us feel it's just unfair that she passed away at such a young age. And it hasn't really sunk in yet. Obviously, eventually it will for myself. And these are just my memories of her. And even though there's a lot of missed opportunities, even though I thought she could have been a much bigger star, you know, look at the bright side. She got to accomplish her dream, and she got to do something that many people dream of, you know, and she was able to do that. And so she was very lucky. But unfortunately, I did watch a documentary on her, and it was very sad and very heartbreaking. And this may upset a lot of people, but she talked about her experiences with bullying, especially after Harriet the Spy, that she was, bullied ruthlessly in school because of who she was, and it was just so sad and so devastating that someone so beautiful could be, treated so horribly. But it does happen in the world, and you know, if only bullies knew the pain they cause, people, and it has no limits, and it really can happen to anybody. And it's just, if you look it up online, you'll find it. But be warned, it's disturbing, and it's devastating, and it might be hard to watch considering what's happened right now. And my thoughts and prayers go out to their family. And then I found out that her mother was the one who found her. Oh man, I cannot imagine. I can't imagine what they're going through right now. I really can't, And the worst thing any parent can do is probably bury a child. And the best thing I could say is that, hey, she accomplished far more than most people ever will, and she'll always be remembered. And I'm always grateful for all the wonderful memories for so many years that she provided me and so many people, the joy, the laughter, the good and bad times, and I'm thankful for that. So I want to know, what were your favorite memories of Michelle? Please comment down below. I know this is difficult for you all, and till then, that's all I got. Rest in peace, Michelle. Thank you for all the wonderful memories, and take care, everyone.